this is gonna go down like a lead balloon, if only because this is going to be a damn long intro, so please bear with me, people. I logged in yesterday on YouTube to see this, the truth about pearly things from the Triggernometry channel. Now, let's be real for a moment here, shall we, lads? If you see anything media-related that starts with the truth, there's a pretty good chance that's going to be a hit piece, which of course this was. Now let me say something about the Triggernometry podcast here. The whole podcast scene, because it's so numerous and bloated at this point, they basically also have a flavor all of their own. Make no mistake about it, none of them are neutral. At least the ones that aren't pushed anyway. The hallmark to me of a good podcast or a host is how well versed they are in the art of drawing out the substance of the guest and showcasing it in a manner that is thought-provoking without it being domineering or combative. Conversation should be like a well-choreographed dance. It must have good chemistry. And because certain people have an outspoken or well-known political leaning, let's say, should they host someone that could be seen as an antagonist in any other circumstance, that underlying tussle is to be this sort of expected shadow that looms over the conversation. And you can see this in the chat quite a bit before the show even starts at times. Now, Joe Rogan is obviously the king of podcasting, but Lex Friedman is up there as well. Someone who I think is highly underrated for their craft in this regard is Benjamin Boyce. Like, his conversation with Curtis Yarvin was fantastic. Someone who was notoriously challenging to interview, apparently. Personally, I think it's because Curtis's thought process is so far dense and journey-like to be appreciated by today's, well, shot-the-hell attention span having population. There's a reason why the chat thought Molbog would fry their brains when the lads at Triggernometry hosted him. He's a monarchist, extremely well-read for it, and they are, well, if I'm being frank, mere card-carrying members of the Western liberal establishment. Their dissident concentration is extremely weak. Which brings us to Pearl. I don't know who on earth at their studios has this vendetta against her or why, but I thought she handled herself pretty well when they had her on, especially laying out this credible argument about why women shouldn't vote, for which she received no pushback whatsoever. I wonder why that is. And by the way, on a side note, that portion of the show was highly emasculating. Can you imagine for a moment sitting across from a woman who, through logic and rationality, presents you with an outcome-based premise for why you, men, should hold the reins of power in society, and you have no rebuttal and think she's crazy? As a male watching that, if a woman can make a pro-male argument to your face and you seek to reject it rather than embrace it, I think that makes you a shameful, pathetic excuse for a male. Now, the bit with Fuentes, that was painful to watch. And so, a question I have for you lads. If you have a problem with Fuentes, why don't you grow a pair of balls and have him on the show? And don't give us this bullshit of, oh, we don't platform those kinds of people. Then why the hell did you bring him up on the show with Pearl? Use his name in the title of the video, spend less than 20% of the podcast discussing a topic and episode that the audience themselves couldn't even watch for the sake of reference. Oh, I know why. It's because they're a hypocritical clickbaiting bunch of fuckwits is why. Even now, if you go to that video, the top comment is still, you'd probably have a better time debating Nick Fuentes' ideas if you interviewed Nick Fuentes. Apparently those two are too thick to grasp the concept. They might look like they're full of shit for saying, oh, we won't platform this person. But we have no problem smearing them and their positions, grifting off them for the sake of controversy, and then chastise our guests repeatedly for not being responsible with their platform. Meanwhile, we stir controversy by platforming their very name. I don't like these holier-than-thou f***its who pull this shit. They must be called out for it. Now, there's a reason I bring this up, because it seems to be the case that the staff themselves don't read the comment section. It was overwhelmingly in Pearl's favor. Hell, even now it's about 55% negative on that video. You know when a majority of your own audience, even quite a few who don't like the guest or even disagree with them, are defending them instead of you and disapprove of your conduct? The smart thing would be to not replicate it. Oh, but instead, those two soy boys doubled down, went out and hired this random black woman of a mercenary to do a hit job they're too chicken shit to do themselves. Once again, the ratio is in the negative. The comment section is damn near exclusively expressing disapproval and asking what in the hell was the point of the stunt. So well done to you two dimwits. You appear to have no balls or sense of self-awareness. Anyway, let's see what this one has to say before I drag this out any longer.
Now on the Pearl front, I have a few thoughts. who the hell is Pearl?
The more important question is,
who are you and why should I care?
good point. What gives you any credibility here?
If you've been on TikTok or YouTube recently, you may have seen a few videos of Pearl from Pearly Things floating around.
Yeah, she's also been a guest on this channel, you dozy bint.
Pearl is a content creator who focuses mainly on the red pill movement and intersexual dynamics in dating and marriage. And just for quick reference, the red pill is dating and mating strategies that are designed to tackle male oppression and female hypergamy.
Is it fuck? The red pill has become the symbol for the truth in any avenue that's been obnoxiously shrouded by that curse known as politics, in which today's world is, well, damn near everything.
Here are a few of her clips.
In this show, I just get a lot of flack from bitter women, honestly, because we talk about things from the men's point of view a lot of times, and we'll talk about things that specifically affect men.
Red pill is just basically seeing the world as how it is.
Case in point.
And it's basically like, the way they describe it is blue pill is like the lies you've been told by society and like feminism.
Okay.
And you take the red pill and you see the world for how it is. There's a girl I was on 3 different teams. So there's a girl on a team I was on in college.
Yeah.
And literally she was a girl next door. You would never know. She seemed like the sweetest chick. And I swear to God, she had a guy she dated her freshman year of college, dated him for a month. He cheated. He was like all around town or whatever. Her senior year, she was with a guy that bought her a house. She moved in, and I've told it before. And I was at a party, and literally, like her body wasn't on Instagram. She was a school teacher, good with kids, sweet, nice, and literally, she was in the bathroom with the guy from freshman year at the party her boyfriend came to. And
no chill.
He bought her a house.
He bought her a house.
She doesn't even respect him.
Exactly.
She doesn't respect him.
And that was kind of a red pill moment for me, where I was like, God damn, you would never know.
But so what? So that's one girl out of a population of 300 million. Are you thick?
Are you? What the Not in that way, by the way. What was the point of calling her thick?
So, contrary to popular belief, this 26-year-old stunner of a red pill supermodel,
In case you can't tell, this one is oozing bratty ass bitch.
is herself unmarried, not particularly religious, not a virgin, and seems to be making a good living for herself with her online content.
Like that. Oh, did I mention you reek of envy, bitter as fuck? Try making a logical argument, which we all know you are not capable of, let's not kid ourselves. I hate this line of attack as well. Oh, she doesn't have all the things she claims women should have. If a drug addict is high as a kite who tells you to be sober, don't do drugs, should I disregard them because he's high? No, because that's dumb. There was one comment that eviscerated this. It said, consider Pearl's lack of a relationship as a cautionary tale. I thought that was brilliant.
Now, I'm going to break this down in 2 ways.
Dumb and Dumber.
Pearl herself and the content that she produces.
Spoiler warning here for you, she isn't going to dispute a single one of Pearl's arguments, a classic case of shoot the messenger.
On the red pill front, do you remember the scene from The Matrix when Lawrence Fishburne offers Keanu Reeves a choice?
Yes, we already know this. How dumb do you think we are?
Here's a Ghanaian reenactment. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. So in this, the rabbit hole is essentially the idea that women run the world without taking responsibility for it, and that their male victims are not permitted to complain. This makes the red pill a continuous, multi-voiced, up-to-the-minute male empowerment movement nestled at the heart of the so-called manosphere. So it's a network of websites preoccupied with both men's rights movement and how to pick up women.
Let me break all of that bullshit down in a way that all of us can understand. She's basically trying to sell it as a male version of intersectionality.
And blog posts like The Mercenary Bubble, which is quite a long read, basically argues that the Western world has slowly grown into an uncivilized society that overvalues women and undervalues men.
True.
Basically, once you take the red pill, you'll finally realize that female oppression is non-existent and that men are the ones getting hard done by. Even so, red pillers believe that men and women are different in terms of evolution and thus should submit to gender roles. They believe that women are better suited to traditional lifestyles, including getting married and raising children, while men go to work and provide for the family. Obviously, the red pill movement is huge with loads of influencers and factions, but that's basically the gist of the entire movement. I've been very vocal about the red pill movement, and what I essentially think is that while it makes a lot of valid points, any movement that's centered on keeping men and women apart is not a good thing for society. Even so, red pillers believe that men and women are different in terms of evolution and thus should submit to gender roles. They believe that women are better suited to traditional lifestyles, including getting married and raising children, while men go to work and provide for the family.
You have to be a special kind of stupid to contradict yourself that quickly and have the audacity to call your opposition dumb.
And it's important to divorce the real issues from the sensationalist hype that enriches 19-year-old Bugatti-owning life coaches online.
Of which Pearl is a member of, apparently.
Now on the Pearl front, I have a few thoughts.
I would wager very few are your own.
I hate to be the one to say it, but the messenger doesn't fit the message.
I'd never even heard her say that before I wrote my script. Damn, I'm good.
If I told you that I had a great money-making scheme and you can make lots and lots of money from it, your first question to me would be, how much money have you made, right? Or what if I told you that I could teach you how to raise your kids? Wouldn't you want to see how my kids turned out first? What if my children were a bunch of degenerates? Anyway, the same logic applies with Pearl.
No, it doesn't. Money comes from hard work, skills, finesse, bit of luck. And by bit of luck, I mean genetic IQ. Things you can work on. Well, not the last one, but anyway. If a one-legged woman told you all the things that Pearl just did, but she isn't married because men don't want to marry one-legged women, does that mean the advice is any less relevant? No. So far, she's given me absolutely bugger all evidence she's in any way wrong. You've just attacked her success.
If she is such an authority on the things that she talks about, and she's right on them, why is she an unmarried, unfeminine, money-making modern woman?
Jeez, what a bitch.
Even the way she makes her points are backwards and counterproductive. Look at this clip of a recent appearance she made on Piers Morgan talking about women in sport.
One another.
I am so tired of women whining.
Mate,
it's
the only person whining at the moment is you.
Literally the men fund our leagues and we will still whine that we don't get paid enough. I think all of the women should thank the men for funding our leagues because most of our leagues would not exist without the men, number one. Number two, I don't hear the men whining about OnlyFans models getting paid more than them. But whenever men dominate in an industry, women will just complain. At the end of the day,
Technically, she is right. But the way she's making her argument is designed to be controversial and insightful.
Yes, we should be controversial via cheap smearing hit piece that is going to piss off the audience instead. Fuck's sake, the only thing insightful so far here is me. Which is not very difficult, mind you, look at my opposition.
A normal person would say something along the lines of, sports viewership works as a form of entertainment. It's not about what you do, it's about how many people want to see you do it.
Yeah, that's rational. But it's almost like controversy sells, which is literally what you are doing by doing this commentary in this format. You are guilty of the very thing you're trying to criticize. What a surprise.
And the more viewers you attract, the more ad revenue you generate, which is then reflected in your wages as an athlete.
It's also reflected in how much money you can get if you produce content. Funny how that works, isn't it?
The issue of pay in sports is not about sexism, it's basic economics.
Which no one with sanity has ever argued. What in the hell is your point even?
But no, Pearl is like, thank the men for oxygen. Just strange. It's clear what she's trying to do, and she's built a large following doing it.
And you're salty as hell, we get it.
Now, no one can convince me that this girl is normal.
No one has tried making that case.
Let's be honest.
Okay, let's. You're extremely envious, petty, immature, bratty, and salty as all hell. And you've made absolutely no points in this bitch fit you threw other than she uses controversy to get views, which you are attempting to emulate under the veil of being morally superior, when really, you're full of shit. How's my honesty? Which brand do you prefer, people? The XX or the XY variety?
Other than the dark recesses of the internet, where else can a girl like that get so much male attention?
Oh, good God, would someone please slip this desperate one some dick? Or some batteries, for crying out loud. This was absolutely pathetic. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.